If you begin to remove God from that, you wind up with a form of Darwinism that says my competition is to defeat the person next to me, that there are limited amounts of everything and I have to compete for it. Well, that very quickly begins to strike you as unfair, and we move from equality to the idea of equality, meaning that everybody's got to have the same outcome. So the more you pull God out of society, you go from what the founders had with this vibrant society that produced medicine,
where you have equal opportunity.
That's right.
Everybody has the same opportunity.
All based on equal opportunity.
But everybody is not going to be producing the same.
That's right. You devolve out of that equal opportunity down into this thing that you found when you spent time in the Soviet Union of no one having any incentive to try to become everything that God's created them to be.
Yeah, you go to a store and the shelves are bare. You want to get waited on. They don't care if you're standing there for an hour or if they need to get you right away so that you are a satisfied customer, because it really doesn't matter. They get paid the same whether you like the store, whether you don't, because you only have a couple of choices. It would be like having people in a classroom and saying, we want you to achieve hard, but by the way, we're going to give everybody A's.
Right.
So you go home that night, and instead of studying, you want to go out and play. Somebody else is going to study hard. They're going to get the high grade, but it doesn't really matter because they're going to get the same grade as somebody who just messed around. Or you have a sporting team, and you give all of them starting positions. Well, how hard is somebody going to practice over the summer? How hard are they going to practice during the regular season when they're going to be on the starting line, just like somebody else who's a finely tuned athlete? Eventually, the finely tuned athlete says, what's the point? What's the point of putting all this work in here to achieve when I'm not rewarded for it? Here's Kagan. She says in the same thesis, why in a society by no means perfect has a radical party never attained the status of a major political force? Why, she says. She's hoping that radicalism could become the party of choice. We now have that with President Barack Obama, who has nominated a like-minded radical to serve on the United States Supreme Court.
She followed up, the very next sentence in that was, why in particular did the socialist movement, in particular, never become an alternative to the nation's established parties? What you see here, Matt, is after we've just discussed the effects of socialism, you've got a lady here that quite sincerely, I believe, in this thesis, is asking and self-chastising the socialist movement, why didn't you ever become a competitor of the Democratic parties of the United States?
Yeah.
And she goes on to tell you, I mean, this is her critique of how to make socialism great in the United States.
She says, just briefly, yet if the history of local New York shows anything, it is that American radicals cannot afford to become their own worst enemies. In unity lies their only hope. She is a radical at the very core. That's not the kind of person that you need on the United States Supreme Court. You ought to get very concerned, energized, and mobilized to oppose this nomination. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. Look at all the material that we have there. Sign up for the Grassroots Action email. Also, become networked in our Freedom Federation website. Click on there right now. Sign up, become networked, and mobilize, activate people in your community on this and other issues that affect our family, faith, and freedom. Go to lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.